Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Third Eye Podcast. Once again, we are joined here today to live in remembrance of all the things once lost when we were children. Like, for example, I had a stuffed animal that I called Baby Sister, and another stuffed animal called Chuckles, and another stuffed animal called Pokey, and another stuffed. Anyway, so I had a few stuffed animals, and you might be thinking, stuffed animals? Action figures, Josiah. Where were your action figures? Aren't you a man? I don't want you to misinterpret me here. So I need you to understand that, you know, you kind of get what you get, and you don't throw a fit for some people out there. And, I wonder sometimes how it must be to be so wealthy or so well off that all of your needs are provided for and anything that you want you get. It must be like a hellish psychedelic experience for that person to come to that moment where they realize that they can't obtain something with money and they have to obtain it through character, and all they've ever known is being able to obtain things through money, and that everything that they've ever wanted was obtainable by money. And then you get to that point in your life, hopefully, where you come across an obstacle that requires something from you. It does not It cannot be quantitated. No, it cannot be quantified. There we go. I don't think it can be quantified into some kind of numerical value. That thing that the obstacle would require from you, but it would require, nonetheless, a certain level of character development, perhaps, almost like a video game. Just indulge me for a moment. I've played a lot of video games, if it wasn't obvious, and I'm sure it'll become more obvious, but I understand the world in some ways through video games. And it's only, when you do a psychedelic experience, I think it is a higher consciousness, possibly a god being, a god, the god, whatever you want to call it, the universe, an extension of the universe, a piece of the universe. I don't think it's the whole thing. Sometimes it can be overwhelmingly seeming like it is. Anyway, so I think it's trying to convey a message to you, and and now unfortunately, when you've been like kind of existing in this world for some time, you kind of construct a piece of what you think you are, and how you see things and the things that you like and enjoy and are interested in. But when you have these things in your life that you are interested in, and you do a psychedelic experience, specifically, at least in my experience, the DMT experience, a real profound breakthrough DMT experience, you will you will possibly have an experience that is carved by the many things that can be considered yourself or you. So, like I've said before on this podcast, it's more than just what you are as a body and what you think of and your ideas and all that. It's like the dog you have, the apartment you have, how you decorate it, all the things that you own. It's all like a piece of you, and if you put all those things in like a really pretty mandala picture or something like that, it would it would be a very interesting, different, and probably insightful way to view yourself if you could see everything that you are in its most intricate qualities. And so, excuse me, by the way. I heard recently that thought is four dimensional. What does that mean? So, if thought could be four-dimensional, that means when you're thinking, my first summation, my first summas. Oh, I can't hit that word, can I? First summation of a fourth dimensional situation would be that if a thought is fourth dimensional, but we can have a thought, I would think that maybe, it's that we're connecting to a place that's fourth dimensional, because if it's fourth dimensional, like if I'm thinking interstellar, maybe that's fifth dimensional though. What dimension is a tesseract? All right, let's look at this. The core metaphor transcending 3D space and linear time. Characteristics for the thought, time manipulation, memory and mental time frame. You can instantly travel to your childhood home, a pastime, a place in your mind. Okay, yeah, that does make sense, because I was hearing something about how I think if time was fourth dimensional, you could consider it like or that if you were a being, for example, you were a being that lives in times both separate in the manner than we do. We live in time, I suppose in a different way. I wouldn't really know how to describe how we operate with time, but I've heard it said that you could theoretically view time as like distance and traverse from one time to another and think of it as miles almost instead. Well, I don't know where I heard that, but anyway, it's an interesting thought, because I bet there are species out there, or aliens, or there's things out there that have figured it out, or are figuring it out, or have had it already down for hundreds of thousands of years, and they've got an ancient and wise lineage of aliens, but who knows what they look like, or what they think about, or what their like primary goal is. I can only imagine that the more you advance, the more curious you are with like life itself. If I can only I would see at least, one pathway in the universe. If I advanced as an alien, I'd be curious with experimentation on life, but not like I would want to be like. See, it would only be in the psychedelic manner, I think. So that's another thing. If it's possible to come out or from me, or that I'm able to tap into it, or have the idea, or the idea be bestowed upon me, it's very possible that that's a place out there that we all tap into every now and then, and it's kind of dependent on your choice in the matter. Because if you decide, I'm gonna make this decision to take a psychedelic, for example, and I want to have an open-minded experience. I want whatever's supposed to happen for me to happen to me, or around me, or for me to be plunged into. Whatever's gonna come my way, let come. And I'm just gonna do my best to take deep breaths and remain calm, and be aware. And when you have some simple guidelines like that, you might just I don't know. Like I said before, and many others will say, it's hard to explain. It's like a completely personal and individual experience, and it's I guess it's almost so personal. That's probably what makes it hard to describe sometimes. It's like, how do you wrap someone else's mind around what you can barely wrap your mind around? Like me still trying to understand my situation, my experiences. It makes it infinitely more confusing, and seemingly much harder to explain to other people how there can be possibly good things for you to come out the other side of that. Because when I'm trying to tell somebody, listen to me, if you just do this thing, you'll just like go to this place, and then the aliens, they'll come into your mind, and they'll scrub your brain. It's got dirty weird shit all over it, and all that dirty weird shit is like it's all past existential crises and trauma that you went through, and you need to possibly consider the fact that these aliens that are like look like spiders that they're crawling all over your brain and then inside your eye sockets and through your ears and out your nose and your mouth and such and all your orifices and your and they're doing all sorts of stuff that you can't possibly you don't want no part of that. You say no, I don't want this, I don't like this, I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. But see, if you just take a moment to I'm good at this. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna let it happen. And then you come back. And boom, you're back. You're like, what the fuck just happened? I don't know what the fuck just happened. But you may experience, perhaps, and this might, this isn't for everybody. It's not for everybody. This experience, I don't know, man. It's not for everybody. But you may come out the other side and you're like, you know what? I don't want to hit that nicotine pen. I think I'm good on that joint. I don't think I need another beer. That's happened to me in all sorts of ways. I've been able to look at food like that. I've been able to look at any kind of addiction in that way. Ever since then, I've been able to look at things like I can just have a healthy relationship with life. And I'm not saying that I'm like, that sounds kind of silly. I can have a healthy relationship with life. Man, just let me have my drink. Okay. I don't think alcohol's poison. You know what I mean? But, so when you decide to drink, you're drinking poison. And there's other substitutes, in fact. And I'm checking those substitutes out. And I don't know if any of you out there have ever heard of Amanita muscaria. It is you know what? Let's just pull it up over here. I'm going to butcher it. So anyway, Amanita muscaria. People have been taking, at least most recently, Amanita muscaria to help them deal with alcohol addiction and benzodiazepine addiction. Excuse me. My goodness, I'm raspy every now and then. So let's see. What is Amanita muscaria? Commonly known as the fly agaric. It is a iconic and widely recognized mushroom. It's famous for its distinctive appearance, a bright red cap with white warts, specks. It's a psychoactive mushroom, but it's not a magic mushroom. In the same category as psilocybin mushrooms, its primary active compounds are muscimol and ibotenic acid, which work on the brain's GABA receptors, similar to pharmaceuticals like Ambien or benzodiazepines, but with a different and less predictable effect profile. So that's curious. Now, I've also heard that no, that's Ibogaine. No. So key characteristics and identification. No, I think we all know what that looks like. It's the white mushroom with the white specks on it. It's the classic white mushroom with red mushroom with white dots. And it's like, Mario. It's Santa Claus, you know what I mean? It's a very common mushroom in many places. But its habitats are what kind of word is that? Mycorrhizal, meaning it has a symbiotic relationship with trees commonly found in temperate and boreal regions of the northern hemisphere under pines, spruces, firs, and birches. Seasons late summer to late autumn. Crucial warning, while iconic, it is poisonous and can be easily confused with other deadly Amanita species like the destroying angel. Never consume any wild mushroom without absolute expert identification. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go out into the woods and say, that's it. That's the one. Let's go, boys. Anyway, so effects in traditional use. It is not a recreational drug. Consumption can be unpleasant and dangerous. Well, That's interesting because I actually just took some. And now the what I took specifically was Amanita muscaria from amantara.com. And you can get it there. You can also get Blue Lotus and a few other cool stuff. It's all legal. And just go check it out. Amantara. I am not sponsored by Amantara. But if Amantara hears this, you heard it here first. Anyway, so active compounds, ibotenic acid, a neurotoxin. Wow. And muscimol. It's decarboxylated, more psychoactive form. Ibotenic acid can cause nausea, excitability, and brain cell death in high doses. Interesting effects. Onset 30 minutes to 2 hours. Lasts 6 to 10 hours. Effects are highly variable and dose dependent. They are often described as deliriant and dissociative state and can include physical nausea, vomiting, sweating, twitching, drowsiness, loss of balance. Psychological sedation, confusion, delirium, vivid dreams, distorted perception of time and size, which is called micropsia, micropsia and macropsia, I think is how it might be said. Euphoria or dysphoria, a deep zombie-like sleep with vivid dreams, is commonly reported. That's what I'm going for. Traditional shamanic use, historically used by indigenous peoples of Siberia and other regions in shamanic rituals, the shaman would often consume the mushroom to enter a trance state, and his urine would then be drunk by others to share the metabolized, less toxic effects. This practice is where some of its common names originate. Holy shit. So you heard that here first too, maybe. Perhaps in a past life, you or someone you knew was a shaman, and it was cold out, and he ate a bunch of mushrooms, and he's like, I'm tripping balls. Y'all need to drink. I just listen. I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but you need to drink my piss. Okay? I know. Stop. No. Yeah, no. It can cool down first. Let it cool down. Pretend it's like a beer. I don't know. But anyway, you got to drink my piss, and it's I promise it works. It's just metabolized. It's less toxic. Anyway, cultural significance. Christmas symbolism. Its association with pine trees, reindeer, which are known to eat and behave oddly around the mushroom, and red and white colors that has led to compelling theories that it influenced the modern imagery of Santa Claus. His reindeer and Christmas colors. Apparently also shamans wore red and white. The shamans that would do this wore red and white, if I understand correctly. And I'm not an expert. I'm a fool. Just anyway. Extremely important safety and legal information. Toxicity and danger. It is poisonous. Ingesting it raw or improperly prepared, it can cause severe poisoning, including intense gastrointestinal distress, agitation, hallucinations. I should probably speed this part up. Anyway, bottom line, Amanita muscaria is a fascinating, culturally significant and beautiful mushroom. However, it is potentially dangerous psychoactive poison, not a benign psychedelic. It should be admired in the wild, not ingested. Sorry, too late. But I think we've been experimenting with these things for a long time. I don't intend to take this a lot, but people are using it to get off alcohol, and isn't that kind of great? Shouldn't you have something to get off alcohol? Isn't that why they're trying their hardest to make anything and everything that's an alcohol substitute demonized absolutely so hard that when you even think about doing anything other than having a beer or taking a shot, people are like, oh my god, you're smoking weed? Have you not heard of scromiting? You're going to throw up, so you're going to projectile vomit all over your children. You're going to projectile vomit on your grandmother when she's on her... Why am I out of focus here? Is it because I'm talking about scromiting? It's because I'm talking about scromiting, isn't it? Come on. They want me out of focus. They don't want you to see the truth. And the truth is right in front of you. The truth is that there is no such thing as scromiting. Alright? I don't know, actually. I'm a fool. But you gotta understand that sometimes what they're telling you, it might not be the truth. Can I fix this? My finger is like so focused. Look at that. Look at my clean nails. Did you see that? Yeah, I keep my nails clean. That's what it wants me to talk about. It wants me to talk about my clean ass nails. Can you focus slowly on my clean ass nails? And then slowly bring it into purview. Look at that. Did you see that? We did it. We did. I don't know how to. I used magic. I used magic. Magic. To make my computer listen to me using my finger, I use magic, and like we all do and can. You can use magic to control these things. You know, Neuralink is coming out with that stuff now, where you can control the computer with a little implant. I don't know if I'm ever. No, nope, nope. I don't think I'm ever gonna do that. Not willingly. I don't think. I don't think I'm gonna put any technology in my body. I don't really like the sound of that. And whenever somebody even thinks about, I think whenever I've had the thought that someone might in the future be like, Mr. Maynard, you need to take this ship to work. I'm going to, I'm getting out of here. But, so, yeah, man. Technology's gonna get scary. I know I've said it. But we gotta contemplate this. We gotta talk about this. Because it's not only our future, it's our right now. Everything is being influenced by technology. Even just then, when I was talking about scrummeting, why did my camera go out of focus? I'm not a paranoid schizophrenic, but you gotta understand, we are being watched, and we are being listened to at all times. At all times. Even me, little old couple of viewers, me. I ain't got nobody barely watching, but the few that are, it's a small group, and probably one of them is an NSA agent. Hey, Gary, nice to see you. I love you, Gary. He leaves likes. I think he leaves likes. I think he likes my stuff. But that's the thing, it's like any cult. If you have a cult, the FBI or the CIA or whatever, they might have an obligation to just join your cult just to keep an eye on you. So, yeah, Gary, Bob, Dylan, Tim, whatever your name is, thank you. Thank you for offering a view. When I put this video out, when I put every video out, it's almost like a 90% chance that there's going to be 1 or 2 views before I even get the chance to, because it's uploading overnight usually, and then when I wake up, it's probably went up at like 2 or 4 a.m. or something like that, and I get up like 4:30 to 5:30, and then it's up before I'm up, and there's like usually 1 or 2 views. Those are my NSA agents, my local NSA agents. They probably live next door, and I wish they'd fucking pick up that rotting pumpkin. It's got so many flies in it. Every time I walk by it, flies come flying out of this pumpkin, and it's disgusting. It's like a hive of flies. Anyway, so man, it also brings me to another thing. What's going on with this Venezuela thing? Why did we kidnap that guy? Supposedly oil prices are going to go down. Is this what we do now? We kidnap people and make the prices go down. But to what? See? Out of focus again. They want you out of focus. They want your thoughts out of focus. Don't talk about the president of Venezuela. Don't talk about the prices of oil going down because we got them. Don't talk about how we could possibly lower the prices of anything by kidnapping anyone. See, now we're back in division. See, I would never talk about that. See, Gary, I would never talk about that. You know me. Don't dox me, Gary. Don't dox me, Gary. I'm on another level, Gary. I'm just kidding. Don't dox me, Gary. I'm friendly. I'm nice. I don't mean any harm. What can I do? What can I do? I got a small group of like a few people that are like, what's this guy talking about? Psht. Psht. Don't dox me, Gary. So, man, I think that's concerning. I want to have solutions to these things, but what could I possibly do if I even had a solution? If I told you what the solution was, there's like 20 of you, 30 of you that see this, and what would you do with the solution? Write down in the comments what you would do with the solution. If I gave you the solution to fixing this economy, tell me in the comments what would you do? What would you do if you could fix this state that we're in, the state of the world that we're constantly in a rolling cycle, uphill in the boulder, downhill in the barrel? Why are we here? Why are we stuck like this? But how can we fix it, most importantly? How do we fix it? Tell me. Write it down in the comments. Do it. Because I have the answer, but I can't share it with you. You wouldn't do anything with it, I don't think. No. No. I don't think you would. That's why you gotta tell me what your idea is. Because my idea is too profound. I don't think I don't think you can handle it. I'm being honest. I don't think you can handle it. If I told you, all right. It involves a basketball team. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. Y'all have a fantastic day. It won't be long until a friend of mine gets uploaded that video of his. It's very perfect, very beautiful, very wonderful, very low video quality. Actually the video quality is pretty decent. It's the audio quality that needs to improve. But it was a kind of a slap together situation, that one. But you gotta do what you gotta do in this life. You gotta record what you can record. You gotta put something out there. You gotta make something of yourself. That's what we all gotta do. Maybe I'm not done yet. No, maybe I'm not done. See, what I want to know is, in this world that we live in, where psychedelics are demonized like this, how there might be some kind of spiritual significance in the matter. Like when they talk about good and evil and all of that. I wonder, beyond not just how long this has been going on, but like, what has been my role in all of this in past lives even. Because I do think that past lives are a thing. I think that there's been kind of like a storyline, or a narrative, maybe not a narrative, but a storyline that has been taking place throughout many lifetimes, and through many different bodies, and through many different individual stories. A sort of narrative has been forming, a good versus evil narrative. And I've played a part in it, and so have you. Even on small levels, when you decide to cut that guy off in traffic, or when you decide to leave your shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot, or when you blah 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 blah, you play a part in the role of evil. And that's kind of why the battle always goes on. It's because you don't put your shopping cart away. It's because some people litter, and it's all everybody's fault. And at the same time, we can't spend all our time blaming each other, because that's not also the path out of this. I can't tell you how many times when I wanted to fix something about myself, when somebody would complain about it, oh man, that's not the way to get me to fix it. I'm not going to change anything when you know supposedly what my problem is and what I need to do to fix it. I'm not going to change anything when you're telling me what my problem is. That's the problem. Like, you have to be able to recognize for yourself what your problem is, what your deal is. What's my deal? What's my trigger in this situation? What makes me go off? What makes me not think for even half a second before I respond? Or I've got a response loaded up while you're talking to me. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening. I'm thinking about what I'm going to say to you because you're fucking annoying me. You're so stupid. But, recently I was dealing with someone who did something I never expected. And I kind of played the role in evil. And I think, because this person they were trying to do some college classes or something like that. And I was like, maybe AI can help you, but you gotta be wary. It can sometimes like hallucinate or lie or whatever. You gotta be wary, but maybe sometimes the AI can help you out in some ways. Ponder it, pontificate it, and then the next time I talked to this person, they told me I'm telling it a bunch of shit about me. I'm telling it this about me and this about me and this about me, and they're also telling it to remember this about me, remember this about me. They're just like loading it with information about them, and then the next time that I saw anything from them, I got into some kind of interaction with them, and then they used Chat GPT to write the response to me, and then someone else said something to them, and then they said, I don't have the time to construct a sentence for you or a response to this. I'm just gonna copy paste this thing that AI made me as my response and give it to you. And they even said that too. I'm too tired. I can't no. I'm just gonna let the chatbot take care of it. I'm just gonna say, remember all this shit about me. Remember all that stuff. This is who I am, and then write this response. Make it articulate. Make me the one that comes out on top. I am the winner. I am the most articulate. I am the Einstein. And yeah, I can't talk to that person now because it's not a person. You're not a person when you do that. Why can't you talk to me? Why can't you fumble your words with me? Why can't we step on each other's toes? Why can't we have discourse? Why can't we have conversation? What's all this attachment, reply, type it out, have it constructed? I need it to be regulated by AI. Horrible. That's horrible. Stop that right now. You stop that, you. Because before you know it, I'm gonna be trying to reach out and tell you something really important, and you're gonna send me a response. I'm gonna tell you something really important. Something really important is gonna happen, and I need you to respond. And it's not gonna be you. I hope that's not the case. And so therefore, my friend, if you see this, know from a place in my heart that I care about you. But you need to understand, that's not the way to talk to me. That's not the way to talk to anybody. You, my friend, need to talk to me. Not your AI chatbot that you have constructed to seem like a better you. Because that's not how you make the better you. There's a better you on the other side of understanding that you have to be the one to come up with the articulate representation of yourself, not the AI chatbot, not the computer. It has to be a human that comes up with a representation of who you are as a human. Because if the robot says this is how you should be, if the robot says this is how you should sound, if the robot says this is what you should like, if the robot says this is what you are meant to do, if the robot says this is your purpose in life, if the robot says no one will ever love you the way I love you, if the robot says, you get the point. Don't listen to the robots. Think for yourself. Even me over here, talking to China, DeepSeek, China AI. I understand, but you gotta understand. I'm I'm experimenting. I'm not sucked into this. I in fact kind of suck at using it compared to who the people I listen to use it. And I like it makes me want to use that, but I'm like kind of lazy. I'm kind of like lazy with this. Maybe I'm like right in that age range of like it's like tablets to boomers. That's what AI is to me. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I'm gonna try and learn though, because I gotta use it. I think we all gotta learn to use it. That's the world that's coming for us. Use it or yeah, lose it. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. I'll see you next time. Probably the very next thing to come out is the episode with Skylar, so please enjoy. Please gather around the campfire for that one tale. And don't forget to